If you've always wanted to see the world but don't have a lot of money to spare, you may think that traveling just isn't an option. But the truth is, it is possible to travel on a shoestring budget, which is exactly what this video is about. Number 1. Use budget airlines. Since traveling the world usually requires some form of flight, figuring out the best budget airlines is a great start to saving your money. According to rd.com, the best budget airlines are Breeze Airways, which constantly gives low prices regardless of the conditions. The next is Avalo Airlines, which is another very low-cost carrier that can help you travel wherever you want to go on a budget. Of course, it's important to do your research, and the further in advance you can book your flight, the cheaper it'll be. Number 2. Stick to one region. It's pretty obvious that the more you travel, the bigger the expenses are. When you consider things like airfare, car rentals, public transportation, food, and hotels, you can easily see how expenses might rack up a lot. So a great way to lower these costs significantly is to stick to a region and explore what it has to offer. For example, instead of wanting to travel the majority of Europe, you can pick one country or city to stay in for a shorter trip to enjoy everything it has to offer. There are tons of towns, villages, and amazing places to see in every single city, especially if you've never been there. So enjoy yourself and make the most of an area so you don't have to break your budget. Number 3. Research transportation options. While you're visiting a specific region or city, you should also take the time to research what are the most effective ways to get around the city to save the most money possible. Some cities may have mediocre transportation, and some may have very expensive transportation. Knowing each region's general cost of transportation can help you avoid incurring any major unexpected expenses. Of course, depending on the region you're in, you could always make use of walking or biking. For instance, the Netherlands is the #1 country in the world when it comes to biking, making it a great country to use cycling for transportation. This can also apply to more major forms of travel, like flying versus train or bus. This greatly depends on the region you're staying at, but doing your research goes a long way in making the best possible choices. Number 4. Look for deals. While you can resort to the cheapest flying companies or hotels, it always pays off to take it a step further and do a general search in Google to see what the best deals offered are. All you have to do is search up the destination in Google and see what's currently available. You'll likely find some really great deals on hotels, flights, and sometimes a combination of the two. This is especially the case if you're someone who collects air miles or travel points of some kind. Number 5. Stay in hostels. There's really no cheaper accommodation than staying in hostels. Hostels are pretty much everywhere if you take the time to look, and they're especially useful if you're traveling light and want to see tons of places on your trip. You can also meet a lot of new people while you travel, helping you socialize and make friends. They offer cheap and sometimes free amenities like breakfast, Wi-Fi, and laundry services. Another big bonus is that hostel staff usually live in the area, so they can help point you to the best locations that a regular tourist may not know about. Let us know in the comments below if you've ever stayed in a hostel for travel before. Number 6. Consider camping. Depending on your region, you can always consider camping. For example, Canada is an excellent place to explore through camping, since there are national parks all over the place, which offer amazing sights that can't be seen anywhere else. This is a great alternative for those who really like to immerse themselves in the wild and enjoy nature for what it is. Number 7. Take advantage of free attractions. Chances are that you want to travel to a region that you've never seen before. The great thing about this is that you can take advantage of the free attractions available. For instance, you can easily find really neat public art installations or even historic sites that you may have only heard about through books and websites. These are typically always free and can leave you with fantastic memories. Another option is to explore local parks. The natural landscape across the world is so vast and changing. The best part about witnessing these changes is that they're great for budget travelers, since the majority of the time, visiting these parks is free of charge. Lastly, you can take advantage of walking tours. For instance, the capital of Canada, Ottawa, offers a haunted walk that takes you through the old prison nearby while telling scary legends that have been told over and over again. It's entirely free and a very fun activity that you can enjoy. If you have access to the internet at any given time, make sure to check out if there are any free days at museums nearby. There's usually a day of the week when admissions are either free or discounted, which can give you something really fun to do. Number 8, avoid tourist traps. It shouldn't be a surprise that avoiding tourist traps is one of the best things you can do as a frugal traveler. These places are designed to draw in tourists, and the cost of souvenirs, food, and lodgings are always overpriced. The best thing you can do to save money is to find places that reside outside of these tourist traps and try to find more local places. This can be really tough if you've never stayed at the specific region you're visiting, but there's one fantastic way to help with that. Keep watching until the end of the video to find out. Number 9, eat local food. Food at tourist traps is really a way to lose more money than you need to. On the other hand, you'd be surprised at how cheap the local food is and how tasty it is. It'll almost feel like you're stealing a lot of the time because of how well the food is priced. Of course, the challenge again is finding out what places are local. Fortunately, the internet can help with that. Utilizing forum websites like Reddit can help you find out directly from people who have visited the region or who currently live there what are the best local places to eat. A little bit of preparation goes a long way in saving your money. Preparation goes a long way in saving your money. Number 10, travel off-season. Traveling during the off-season is always cheaper than traveling during the on-season. For example, you'll always get a better price ticket if you travel to Cuba or the Dominican Republic during the summer months in the Northern Hemisphere than during the winter months. During this time, there's always less demand to travel to those areas, making flights and hotels reduce their prices to attract more people. On top of that, you may even find cheaper attractions around which can save you even more money. If you really want to travel to see the world, then always do your best to travel during times that people don't typically travel. Number 11, consider working while you travel. There are plenty of options that you can take advantage of to work while you travel. As a start, you can become a freelancer so that you can do your work only with a computer and internet connection. A great example of this is a freelance writer. You can also try to find remote location work if you want to travel more permanently. For instance, most computer programming jobs offer remote work. Bonus tip, you can find work locally. One of the best websites that have hosts in 210 countries around the world is called Woof. The way it works is that you connect with people who own organic farms. Typically, you trade your working services for food and shelter. This is a win-win situation for most people because they get to have direct contact with the local, they can travel for free by working at the farm for a few hours a week, and can immerse themselves in a farming lifestyle, which may spark a unique hobby. Number 12, be flexible. This is one of the best tips that you can utilize while traveling. If you can allow yourself to be adaptable to travel dates, destinations, and any other accommodations, you can always find the best possible deals. For instance, let's say you planned on traveling a month from now, but in 3 months, you can get an amazing deal for a hotel and your airfare. To get the same trip for a much cheaper price is definitely the optimal choice, and it's so useful if you're looking to travel more frugally. Before I share this last tip, let us know if you enjoyed the video by giving it a thumbs up. And if you want to find out more content about anything and everything frugal, then subscribe to Investors Weekly. Number 13, utilize Couchsurfing. This amazing website allows you to connect with people all over the world, and it can be a very useful app to help you save money while traveling. It's a very versatile website in terms of the filters you can use. For instance, You can use it to get a local tour guide to help you find the best places around. Or you can use the more popular way, which is to find hosts that you can stay with if they're offering up their space. This is usually free and allows you to basically cut your lodging costs entirely while getting to know the region in a more personal way.